Hey guys, it's Claire, and this time I've got a Dawn with me. We're both in the shot. And we're both in the shot because we want to tell you a little something cool that we found out about Dawn's family and how that is connecting with us in our garden. But before we do that, we want to give a really big shout out to Living Traditions Homestead.
Yeah.
We watched a video the other day where they made cucumber limeade, and we were inspired. And so we made it, and now we're going to try it for you. We did, let's see, one cucumber. It was a pretty massive cucumber.
Yeah, it was a pretty big one.
And then I juiced it, which is a little bit different than how their recipe went because they blended it and then strained it, but we have a juicer. So I juiced it, and then I matched that amount of cucumber juice with fresh, clean water. And then this is about 6 limes. Let's try it.
Cheers.
That is very delicious.
It's delicious, yeah.
And if you're somebody who's, wanting sort of a summertime refreshing drink,
yeah,
got the sugar, just the cucumbers and lime together.
Super refreshing, yeah. That's awesome.
So anyways, that's cool. Go check out their channel if you're not familiar with them. All right, so here's the deal. Dawn has never had a desire to grow food or plants. In fact, when we started dating, he told me he had a black thumb and that he killed everything. Yeah. Right?
It's true, I do. I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Look at all the stuff you're growing now.
I know. It's a miracle.
So he was very surprised to learn a month or two ago from his mom that his family, his mother's maiden name is Hayslip, and his family has a tomato named after them. When you first heard that.
I was like, what? She's like, yeah, my uncle Norman.
Yep.
Norman Hayslip.
Norman Hayslip.
Apparently he was big at the Florida Department of Agriculture, I guess, and did a lot of research on tomatoes.
He was a leading researcher on tomatoes, and a tomato was developed. Now it's a determinate tomato, but it was developed in Florida that was resistant to wilt and resistant to blossom end rot.
Yeah.
And was a very, very productive plant. And they named it, the people who made this tomato named it after his great uncle, Norman Hayslip. So it's called the Hayslip. So Don went online and he found this company.
What are they called? Called
rareseedhouse.com. We'll put the link in the bottom. rareseedhouse.com. And I guess it's Jonathan or Tammy. And this is the Hayslip tomato seeds that we bought. So we have been growing them as little seedlings, and then we're going to get them in the ground today. And so we'll film Dawn getting those in the ground for you. So if you're interested in trying out a Hayslip, let us know or give us a comment, and we have a coupon code for you that we can share. The one thing that I think this is really interesting is that everything that we've been growing is an heirloom tomato. And not everybody may understand the difference between,
I didn't until we started doing this.
A hybrid or an heirloom tomato. This will be our first non-heirloom tomato that we're growing, but honestly, because it's named after your family, it's like a duh.
Gotta try it.
So the produce and the foods that we get today are really bred for transportation and being able to have a big shelf life and carry well in a truck and all of the things that we need for our modern agricultural food distribution systems. And so what that means is produce is being bred now, not necessarily for flavor, but for its ability to, last the longest and be the most profitable, which a lot of times is why if you have something from a garden, it tastes so much better than that same thing you've had at the store. Yeah. It's because that thing in the store was not necessarily bred for flavor. It was bred for shelf life. So the heirloom seeds are the seeds that have been passed down generation after generation. And a lot of times you're growing the same plant that somebody was growing 100 years ago. And at that time, seeds were really about flavor. Yeah. There wasn't modern grocery stores. So for me, I sort of feel like if I'm going to do the work to grow my own food, I don't want it to be the exact same food I can get at the grocery store because this is a lot of work.
Yeah. It takes a little time.
Right? So I want to really grow something for flavor. So that's why we choose to grow the heirlooms. But that does mean that the heirlooms in a lot of ways don't have some of the disease resistance as
And they're not all perfect looking. They're all kind of different looking, and
yeah, the seeds
different
that have,
personalities.
benefited from modern science, a lot of times they do have better disease resistance. They do have more consistent appearance. I mean, there's nothing wrong with growing those plants. It's
Yeah.
just, sort of a choice that we've made. The other thing that'll be interesting about this tomato is its determinant. And that means that it's going to grow to a certain height, it's going to create a certain amount of fruit, and then when it's done, it's done. And that's not something we've ever grown. We've only grown indeterminates.
Right.
And indeterminates will just keep growing and keep growing and keep growing until you top them. They will just keep going, and they will produce throughout the season. So I'm really kind of excited, actually, to have the experience of the determinate
Yeah,
tomato.
I know, me too. Let's see what they do.
The other thing that Don wants to do today is get this bed trellised behind us.
Yeah.
You've
Become a
heard
hot
like
mess.
girls gone wild. This is like tomatoes gone wild. But I want to show you what this looks like before he gets it on a trellis, because this is actually the natural state of the tomato plant.
Yeah.
If you let a tomato plant grow, it is a vine. And we don't typically think of it as a vine. And it will vine and stretch out all over the ground. Most people, at least in the South, I don't know where you are, will trellis them up because it helps with the airflow and it helps with the humidity and,
But you have to support them.
it helps resist the diseases. So that's why, at least in the South, we trellis them up. But I do want you to see what this looks like. And this is what a tomato plant is going to do if left to its own natural devices. Look at this. I'm not going to lie. I like this sort of complete and total free-for-all that this little patch gives me. There's a piece of me that thinks maybe we should just let it ride.
Hey guys. So these are the Hayslip tomato seeds. Today is the day we're going to plant them in the area where we take out the squash plants. So I'm going to bring you guys along with us while we do that.
I'm falling, I'm falling. Are you? Shake your head, tell me yes, baby, I'm turning red. In the middle of a hot stop, tell me doing flip-flops, can't think straight in a haze, thinking about the words you said. And I would trade 1,000 wishes for just one night and just one kiss from you. Baby, I love you. Do you love me too?